Hi.
I'm feeling extra giggly today.
That's good because today we need the giggles.
We have a lot of giggles coming.
Episode 15. We have 2 announcements today.
Volume 1, Season 1 has come to
an end. But worry not, we will be back. We just need a break for summer.
Yeah.
We need to do some things, live some lives.
Yeah, we have some summer travel.
Yes.
So it's time to just give it a little pause, a little summer vacay.
But don't worry, we'll be back in a few weeks.
Back in a jiffy.
All good relationships need a few weeks of recalibration. The other announcement that we have is that we are in a new studio.
Yeah, it's really fun.
You probably can't tell the difference, though.
But we're excited. It's really bright and light.
Yes. But anyways, let's start. Today, we thought we'd do something really fun for the season finale.
We're really excited. And true to us, we got this card game and we couldn't read the instructions or understand it.
Did not read the instructions. We got through like 3 sentences and we were like, scrap this, fuck it.
I didn't even think that we read instructions. And you're like, Devin, we need to learn how to play it.
Yeah, and then I gave up. But this is the thing. This happens with every single card game or board game I play. I don't like reading the instructions because I get confused.
Yeah.
And I'm quite literate, but
I can never understand things.
Yeah.
Like Settlers of Catan is my least favorite. And like when people explain it, I'm so bored.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is. But I come from the era of like Solitaire, Farmville, The Sims. That's my extent of gaming.
Yeah, I don't think we're missing out. But shall we?
Yes. Also, we actually did get this as a question. Somebody sent in that we should either play the Stephen Bartlett Diary of a CEO game or Esther Perel, which is the one that we've gone for.
Yeah.
But the premise is, I don't know because I haven't read the instructions. There's just prompts and questions and we're going to ask each other. We just opened the box right now and we haven't seen the questions.
It was cute that one of our followers asked us to play this, so I hope we make you proud.
Also, I don't think Devin and we've never played a game together. So this is for you.
Okay.
What is the part of your life that stresses your parents out? Oh, I know what this is for you.
Definitely my dating life.
Do you think?
I think like my dating life and just always choosing the wrong people and inviting so much chaos into my life, which I am not doing anymore. But I think that really took them on a roller coaster. Also, probably when I used to party really hard and do a lot of things. So I think that really stressed them out because I was a party girl.
Shout out to Devin's parents.
Then I got tired.
Fair.
Okay.
Nice nails.
Thank you. I'm really into the red right now. And I got this hand chain. I'll never forget being bullied by ...
We spoke about this last week where, there has been 2 times in my life where I've been bullied. One, I was way too young to remember, which was the first time I moved from Brazil to the UK. Yeah. I was like 6. We had a very short stint in London. We lived in North London, which some areas of it can be quite rough and kids are a bit ruthless. And I was very young, so I didn't speak any English. So I got bullied for just not speaking English.
What the heck?
I got spat on. Yeah.
By boys or girls?
Girls. It was girls.
Whoa. That is
Shout out to my bullies. But again, I was so young.
What little bitches.
I truly can't remember that phase. Yeah. I know things that my parents say. And then the second time I was bullied, I was 18, which we spoke about. I was in my soccer team, my football team.
So
weird. And this is the thing. When you're 18, you can't really call that bullying. I think it's just like girls being a bit mean. But on paper it is bullying. Yeah. Like they were very mean to me and they would do things.
They knew what they were doing.
Yeah, that were really, really toxic. And even so I am the biggest advocate for like drinking culture at uni, partying. And I don't know if you know any of this, but in the UK, when you're a fresher, like first year of uni, if you're part of a sports team or some sort of social club, there is like a hierarchy and they really treat you like freshers. So you have to do these challenges. It's kind of like sorority culture where you have these initiations. And if you're in your first year, which is when I got bullied, like they do treat you like shit. And they treated me extra shit because I was gay, but also girly. And they just couldn't reconcile that.
And then didn't they all come out as lesbians?
Yet now they're all
It's, like,
30 and
so
gay.
crazy.
But you'd think at 18 everyone's mature and they're
Yeah.
not at a girls' football
Well, you
team.
wouldn't expect it out of women. I feel like you'd expect it out of men, sadly, to be bullying in that way, but that's just rogue.
Yeah, and just to finish it off though, I did have a really good relationship with the girls that were freshers with me. I love them dearly. We're still friends today and try and talk whenever we can, but it was the girls that were older than me. So I think they already inherently had that thing that they could be mean because they were older and it was just the uni culture.
Yeah.
But I think it was deeper than that. I think it was to do with sexuality. And because I was 18, I just kind of brushed it off. But I look back and I'm like, gosh, that was bullying.
Yeah. That's fucked up. Cheers to your haters, baby.
Yes.
Oh, it's your turn.
We're going to fucking... Oh, this is cute because your whole life is one. But what's your guilty pleasure?
Oh my God.
Like your whole life's a guilty pleasure. I kind of want to answer this for you, like as in what your guilt. So in my head, the three first things that came to mind with you is like creatures, like plushies, like Labubus and Monchichis and fucking whatever else they're called.
Yeah.
The second thing that came to mind was like cutesy things that you say.
Yeah.
Which it's not a guilty pleasure, it's just a devitism.
Yeah.
Third thing, I had something but I can't remember. What are you gonna say?
I was gonna say Dr. Pepper and Doritos.
That's not a guilty pleasure.
Okay.
That's my diet.
I would say like watching porn with the person I'm seeing.
There we go. That's a better answer.
And then plushies.
There we
and
go.
cutesies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love
like
it.
my whole for you page for you page
my for you pee.
my whole for you page right now is all like Monchichi.
I thought you were gonna say porn.
And Hello Kitty. And it's so wackadoo.
Yeah.
But I love it.
And guess what? You sent those things to me. And I'm just there like, great. I try and be really excited and reciprocal. But when I get these creatures from Devon, I'm just like, cute.
Yeah. I know. Wait, what's your guilty pleasure?
I really don't know because I feel I don't really look at any of my guilty pleasures as guilty pleasures.
Yeah, I feel like everything I do, I'm just like, is a yes.
Like everyone else, most people, I love reality TV shows. Like
Yeah.
Here's the thing. If I could have gone back in time to my uni days and written another thesis, I wouldn't have written about women in politics. I would have written about the deep psychological roots of reality TV because I think they're very deep and like so much psychology can be like derived from them and like so much introspection can be derived, and it is just like surface level banter, like it's not that deep, but you can really like treat it as this like deep analysis.
I'm watching Temptation Island right now, and like to your point, the psychology behind it is crazy.
I also think the cool thing about reality TV, obviously it is scripted to an extent, but the ones that aren't scripted like Love Island and stuff, I am obsessed with human beings. Like I always just stare at people and like really observe them and think like, what is going on? Like, do they think like me? Or like I just am really analytical of people. And so watching people in their natural habitats, like
just existing,
I just find it fascinating because we can't do that normally. Like we can't just watch someone like go about their day. So I just find it amazing.
I also think like watching just like the decisions they make, and I know everything's scripted, but for me it's more like who they cozy up to, who their friends are, what they wear, like how they present themselves, because it's like everyone's presenting how they think that they should come off. It's not necessarily like who they are.
I think it's amazing, but again, I don't really think it's a guilty pleasure because I think more often people are into it than not.
I need to start watching the new Love Island because I know it's amazing.
I just don't I don't have much time for it, but I did watch every single UK Love Island up until probably like 2 years ago.
We would enter the villa and take it by storm.
I really wanted to be on Love Island, but then I was gay, so.
Okay, this one is I would never forgive you if ...
Ooh, I'm quite a forgiving person. I really don't know. I don't think I've ever thought.
Come on. You would never forgive
I'm a
someone
forgiving
if
like forgiveness is like quite a deep thing.
What if someone backstabbed you?
I'd still probably forgive you.
What if your wife cheated on you?
But you're not my wife.
Oh, it's about me?
What?
I would. Oh, you're right. I was thinking of it in
Fucking
general.
hell.
Okay, I would never forgive you if. Oh.
I don't know, Devin. I'm quite a forgiving person.
But also, I feel like if I did something to hurt your feelings, like I would be apologizing to the point where you'd be like,
yeah.
I just forgive you.
And I think with forgiveness, that's the thing. Someone can literally go out and murder someone you love. And I think down the line, you have to find forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'll never forget and the pain will always be there. But I think you'll always find forgiveness.
Yeah. Okay.
Deep.
That is
Oh,
deep.
let's move on. Let's move on back to Love Island. Oh, this is a good one.
Oh, no.
I got caught lying about...
Oh,
dot.
Oh, my God. I mean, like, the one I can most recently think of is, like, my number that, like, I slept with.
Yeah, fair. That's such a white lie, though. It doesn't count.
Yeah. I wish my partner would blank more often.
Oh, my God. We could think of so many. Whoa. That's a good one. I mean, look, there's a lot of things that I wish, but I think one of the things, and she knows this, just understanding my humor sometimes. But it is quite niche. Like, I'm British, Brazilian. Like, my humor is quite niche, and I think that sometimes I'm a bit misunderstood. And sometimes I wish she would just understand me a bit more.
Okay.
But she knows this, and I think there's a middle ground. But yeah, I think only a few people really get it. She does, but I think sometimes she doesn't.
Do you feel like sometimes when she doesn't get it, it can lead to like little tiffs?
No, it never really leads to tiffs. I just think I'm like, it's my fucking humor. Like,
yeah, like,
I'm like laugh, ha ha ha.
Let's go, baby. Like, give me the giggles. Yeah, fair.
But oh wow, that's such a good question. I think with a partner, there's always going to be so many things, right?
Yeah.
No one's perfect, and they're the people closest to you that you are going to be most critical about.
Yeah. Agreed.
Great one.
Gorgeous.
Oh, this is a great one. The weirdest party I've been to is ...
Ooh. Gosh, that's a really good one. I'd say it was when I was working for the Play Hard Seltzer. They did like a yacht and had a bunch of like hookers on it. And then we got stuck out in the water.
SOS Mayday.
And we were there for like hours, and like the girls were like jumping in the water and like getting stung by jellyfish, and like I was just stuck on this yacht with the Play Hard Seltzers with like a bunch of old men. Lovely. And a man named Pepe who owned the yacht. So that's all I'll say. That was definitely the weirdest.
I love that.
And like the no cell service.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like
iconic.
Yeah.
Incredible.
But I looked cute.
But you looked hot. Yeah. That's all that matters.
And I got good content. Let's see. If I could ask Esther Perel one question, it would be ...
Why are you laughing?
Because I don't know who Esther Perel is.
She's the owner of this game. Esther Perel.
I know, but I don't know her background.
I mean, I don't know her background either, but I know she's a deep, a deep thinker.
Game designer.
No, she's like a very influential voice in the world.
I wanna like dig deep, and I'm gonna look her up after this episode. Okay, so if you could ask her one question, what would it be?
How do you play this game properly? Esther, help us out. We didn't read the instructions. And moving on. Oh, this is so good. Okay. Something I deleted from my search history. ...
Holy shit.
Okay. funny thing relating to this.
Yeah.
There's this game, or like not a game, but there's this question where it's like, if the whole world had to see either your pictures, your text messages, or your search history, which one would you not want them to have?
That's such a good question.
I know. Or your notes app.
So mine would be notes.
Mine would be notes. The world cannot see my notes.
My notes are crazy.
My notes are crazy.
The next one I would say is probably search history.
Yeah, for me it's the same. So like the world can see my text because there's nothing in there.
Same, that's how I feel.
It's like work, and they can see my pictures because the nudes are amazing.
That's how I feel too. I'm like,
in fact, leak it. Yeah, I'm like, let's give it.
So lucky.
I'd be so proud. Like,
no, I would be like, I'm embarrassed.
Yeah. But the notes are a no-go. Like, I honestly think if my notes got leaked to the world, I would die. And then the search history, I won't die, but
I just would be embarrassed because I look up a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I asked ChatGPT like a lot of embarrassing things.
A friend of mine recently screenshot her roommate's like search history on ChatGPT, and we were like cracking up.
Yeah.
But my answer for it was, what did I just delete? So I have a lot of stomach issues, and I had to do an enema recently, and so I was,
remember this,
like Googling like all the ways to like
give
have the most productive enema experience.
Anal.
But I did delete it because then I was afraid I was afraid my boyfriend would go on my phone and then see that, but like I told him anyways.
That's not embarrassing though.
I know,
That's
but
fine.
I did delete it because it just like cringed me out.
Love it.
Okay. I turn myself off by ...
Let's just do it again.
That one sucks. I think the concept of marriage is ...
I love this question.
Me too.
I have many thoughts.
I love Esther Perel.
Esther, we don't know you clearly, but this game's banging.
But you're thought provoking.
So growing up, I always thought marriage was this sort of sacred thing, and by no means I'm not saying it's not sacred. I think it can be, but I think I look at it, especially as an immigrant, and getting married more rushed than we probably would have, so that we could get my green card and stay, and things just happen a bit more faster than they would have. It became a lot more about like the legalities around being with someone, what you have shared. Like, it was really funny thinking about how before we got married and then after getting married, how I was like, if something happens to you or if something happens to me, you're my next of kin now. Like, you have this right that you wouldn't have had before. And we just think a lot more about it like legally and less of a symbol of being with someone for the rest of your life. My thoughts around divorce also changed a lot, where growing up, divorce seems like this the most tragic thing that could happen to someone and like the utmost failure of a union. And now I'm just like, it's just divorce. Like, it's not that big of a deal. And that's my subjective viewpoint. Obviously, I think people have very different views. And yeah, I just, my views just really change. I think it's, the thing with me is that I'm all in. So if I love someone so much, like I do with my wife, like getting married was a no-brainer. Like, it wasn't maybe kind of this bigger picture thing that maybe I thought about when I was young. It was just like, oh yeah, let's just get married, you know? What do you think?
I think for me it's different, but I'm also learning. So I think when I was younger, the concept of marriage to me seems just so serious. Like, it's like this, like, till you die.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
And then now I think because I hadn't been in a healthy relationship, there was this like big pedestal. And I think now that I'm in such an amazing relationship, I'm kind of just like so excited about the concept, because I'm like, I get to like be with this person that I'm obsessed with forever. And I think it just sounds like more fun. I think to me it used to be scary, and now it is less scary.
I mean, the nice thing about marriage when you're 30, like I am, is that when you're seriously dating someone, you don't want to be like, oh, my girlfriend, my boyfriend. And then partner just makes it sound like you're gay, which in my case I am. And which I know, like all of my straight friends do say partner for their boyfriends. But it's just like, it's nice to be able to say your husband or your wife, because it kind of does convey that you're in a serious partnership.
I think like for me, I would never be someone that dates someone for like 7 years. Like for me, like the concept of marriage is like the whole reason you're dating someone for a really long time is to get married, which is controversial because I know a lot of people are like, why do you need to like have this?
Yeah, I'm just very impulsive and all in. It's like if I love someone, whether it's been a day or 7 years, I'm like, let's just get married, let's do it. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, and we'll get a divorce.
Yeah.
But again, I think my views have changed.
I feel like with every relationship, my mind like expands. Like when I think of how I would have answered this 5 years ago, I would have been like able to answer it in one sentence. Where now it's like not that like black. It's not black and white,
especially as it relates to homosexuality. You know, so as a lot of people know, I love weddings and I want to have a big wedding. We never got to have a big wedding because we had to rush our marriage, but you know, in the back of my mind I still want to have this like massive wedding. And I really wanted to have it at Christ the Redeemer in Rio. Obviously that is literally a Catholic monument, and they won't let us do it because we're both women, even though we're already married, so it'd be more of like a ceremony. And that got me thinking about, because like it's just not something I thought of, that we like couldn't do it because we're gay. I was like, but then when they told us that we couldn't, I was like, oh, of course, like I forgot you guys are Catholics, and like you don't allow homosexual marriage in the Catholic Church. And that also got me thinking of like how really conservative, like religious people think about same-sex marriage, and then like heterosex. Like there's so many things to it that I'm in like this unique position where even my marriage, subjectively it doesn't feel different, but to the world it's very different. You know what I mean?
I do. And I think because I understand how you feel, it's also very privileged, because I grew up where like my family and how I was raised, like that's not even anything that would be considered like not the norm. So I think like I've always been so open because I was never taught that it wasn't something that was just like of the norm, which now as I've gotten older, I obviously realize is like a really niche way of thinking, and that it's not just like for you so easy.
Well, that's the thing though. I think it has been easy. It felt normal until I've either talked to people, or when we obviously tried to get married at this, you know, religious monument, that I am reminded that I'm not in this category of normal marriages like heterosexual couples. Even with going, like, for example, I had this really interesting experience recently where, so I've been to Dubai twice or 3 times in my life. The first 2 times I went, I had a boyfriend. He wasn't with me, but him and I had traveled to like other sort of really conservative like Arab countries before. And this time I went into Dubai with my wife, and we were very cognizant of like, we can't hold hands, and like no PDA, like I don't want to be sent to fucking jail. And in Dubai, I was thinking like, isn't it so weird that I'm still the same person? But I have to change my behavior because of who I'm with.
And like the same person that you were the last time you were there.
Yes, I'm the same person, but now who I'm with dictates how I behave and like how I conduct myself. Obviously, you know, no partner I'd ever be with and I would do anything ludicrous on the streets, but it's just really interesting like being in the situation where I'm reminded that I am different when I don't feel different whatsoever. That makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. I think it's also just thought-provoking because I'm sure a lot of people resonate with that and they feel like that, but they maybe don't know how to express it.
Yeah, and I've had a lot of good conversations with people who are really religious. I spoke to this boy recently. He grew up Southern Baptist. He's still very, very religious. And I guess I was kind of probing and asking, like, you know, how can someone like me reconcile? I mean, I would say I'm somewhat religious, but how can I reconcile the fact that the Bible tells me I'm probably going to hell and all of this, and, you know, same sex is not like all of this is not allowed. Like, how do you reconcile that? And, you know, what he thinks about marriage in the church. And I kind of respect that an institution that has conservative values won't allow that in the church, in their institution. But I don't know, that I don't even know how to kind of like clarify what I want to say, but it is just, I'm in a different position than everyone else.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So do you think you don't want to get a
Oh,
celebration
I
in
fucking
Brazil?
want a big celebration. But the thing is, I want a huge wedding. I want it to be at Christ the Redeemer. We can't have it at Christ the Redeemer. It's not like I want another religious monument or I don't want it in a church. I just wanted it because it's Christ the fucking Redeemer.
Yeah.
Love him. And
yeah.
like, I just wanted it there, but I guess it is a Catholic monument.
I just really want you to have a celebration.
Oh, I will. And if we
Okay.
can't have it at Christ, then we'll have it somewhere else. Well,
Okay.
it will not be a church, but
Yeah.
well, we can't have it in a church. They won't let us in.
But facts.
Is it me or is it you? Oh, it's me.
Yeah, it's you, baby.
If my younger self could see me today, she would say ...
I think she would be obsessed and be like, go off, bitch.
Yay!
Yeah.
Oh, that was quick after my 5-minute rant on marriage.
Ooh, my smoothest pickup.
Oh, this one was made for me. Okay, so if you know me, or my friends do,
Yeah.
you know that I just go for what I want.
Yeah.
And I pick up what I want. Women, specifically. Even with guys, like with my ex-boyfriend,
Yeah.
I was smooth AF. Although I
Yeah.
think I did have to sit him down after like 3 months of making out and be like,
What is
I
this?
want to fuck you.
Yeah.
I want to sleep with you. Why
Oh.
are we not there yet?
Okay.
And then he was like, oh, I think we can make that happen. But I'm very proactive. I'm a go-getter with
Yeah.
the people that I want.
Love.
Okay, I'm going to say one that is not my wife. So there was a woman I fancied. I can tell you who it is after this episode. Of course, she was older. Didn't really know what the vibe was. She was at my house. There was a lot of people at my house. It was like a party. And in the UK, we have these chips. I don't know if you know them. They're called hula hoops.
Yes, love.
And I was eating and I was kind of talking to her. And I put one in my finger. And I literally was about to like just grab it from my finger.
Yeah.
But I just like did this. And she goes...
That is so hot.
Is that a pickup line?
Yeah, it
Like
is.
eating?
And when I go to the UK next week, I'm going to bring back hula hoops.
And once I tell you who it is, you'll die.
I'll scream. Wait,
Yeah.
I can't wait.
So that was one. And then I think with my wife, I was the queen of the pickup lines. Like
Yeah.
I just so basically I think I've told this story on another podcast, but not on our podcast. It's a long story, so I'll make it very short. But essentially, during the pandemic, I went to work remote in Hawaii. And I was there for 2 months, 1 month in Oahu, 1 month in Maui. It just happened that I met her on the last day
So
that I was in
crazy.
Hawaii. And we went on this trip to Hana. I didn't know who she was. She was like a friend of a friend. And that whole day that we met, I became instantly obsessed.
Yeah.
Decided that I was in love with her after like 8 hours. The next morning we went for coffee. In her head, this is all just friendly. Like we're just friends because she's a lot older. So she didn't imagine someone younger could fancy her the way that I did. We go for coffee. That made me fall even more in love with her again. I was due to get on a flight to leave Hawaii for good. Decided that I couldn't, delayed my flight after meeting her for 12 hours. So I decided to stay in Hawaii for 5 more days. And during those 5 days, I was like, I can't be too forthcoming because I've already been quite forthcoming. Yeah. So I'll let her like, you know, say, I want to see you. Yeah. So she did. And she said we should go out. And again, in my head, I was thinking like, yes, she's flirting back. She's getting my vibes. She wasn't. In fact, right before we went on what I thought was a date, she asked me if my friend was coming with me.
Stop.
Yes.
I would have wigged.
I just sent her a voice note and was like, nope, she's not coming. And actually, I thought this was just for us. And I was like, the voice note was very angry. To this day, she was like, she's very angry. So we get dressed up, we wear heels and dresses, and we go to the Four Seasons in Maui. And I kind of just decided, like, I've already delayed my flight. Like, this is my chance. Like, unless I make a move or say something.
Yeah, like, it's game over.
Yeah. So although this wasn't a pickup line, what I did do is we had dinner, we got a bit tipsy, and we were walking to the next stop, which was the Fairmont.
Yeah.
And on our walk, because this was during COVID, we both had masks, and we were just walking the streets on the pavement, and it was dark, and I looked at her, and I pulled her by the mask. I just grabbed her mask, and I pulled her, and then I made out with her.
I love that.
And then when I made out with her, she was like, oh, and it all just clicked for her. She was like, you like me? And I was like,
yes.
Duh.
It's always funny to think of like all the stuff we do behind the scenes to like make it happen, you know?
Yeah, I will say I'm the most forthcoming person I know.
Yeah.
There is a line. Oh, I don't know if I should share this. I'll share it, and if we have to cut it out, I'll cut it out.
Okay.
The other time that was the best pickup line I've ever said was when I was 17. I liked someone that was older. And I was kind of talking to them about this girl that I was with, but I kind of wanted to insinuate that I wasn't happy with this girl and I wanted them.
Yeah.
So I said the line, "I've got to settle for what I can have, ... And they said, "Is that a riddle?"
That's really cute.
And I said,
remember this.
yes. And I said, "Yes, if you want it to be, you can work it out. You're a..." You should be good at this. We can bleep what I just said.
It was so good though. It's like
17.
That's the chef's kiss, like
17-year-old Yasmin.
Yeah.
I was poetic as fuck. Like, I was a little wordsmith.
love.
I still think I'm quite verbose. When I'm a better writer than an orator. Like, I don't think I'm as good at speaking as I am at writing. I was just so good with words at 17.
I love like flirty banter like that. So when I get like messages, if they're like so good, it like totally hooks me in like 1 second.
And that is the thing. The way to my heart is
Yeah.
words. If someone is good with words, I just find it so sexy.
Yeah, it's so sexy. I have one pickup line that I've used for like 15 years. It never lets me down.
Show me your
Everybody
dick.
gives- Everyone gives me shit. But so I went to Boulder.
Yeah.
And so if I see a cute guy, I cannot let the moment pass because I'm just like, what if this is like kismet, right?
Yeah.
So I will go up to anyone. Like, I'm not shy at all. And so if I see a cute guy, I'll just go up to him and be like, wait, this is so weird. Did you go to Boulder? And then he'll just be like, no.
But then it starts the
And
conversation.
then I'll just be like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Like, I'm so embarrassed. Like, you looked really familiar. And then it'll like start a chat.
I love
And
it.
it's never let me down.
It's a good one. It's a real good
If
one.
steal it, you're welcome.
Yeah. Okay. Love. Oh, I got 2. Maybe I'll just choose.
Okay.
Or do you want to... Okay, I'm going to go deep.
Okay.
The ex that's still on my mind, ... I love that, like, we know what's up. So we're like, but they don't. So they're probably like these
know.
bitches.
It's so embarrassing to admit, and I clearly am ill in the head.
It's okay. We all are.
Who do you think I'm going to say?
Baby girl.
Yeah.
Of course.
It's just because it's so confusing and was left with zero. It was literally left open-ended. So that's why I think about it, because I'm just like that. It makes no sense.
And I will say, if I were in your position with this boy, I would have been the same. And Devin and I literally sat on a couch crying over like the situations in our life where we've had no closure. And this was exactly it. Like, we can get over it. Like, I have been rejected so many times.
Not the
and
issue.
If someone rejects me, I'll get over within like 5 business days. Not even that, 3 business days.
I love the business days.
Like, give me 12 hours, I'm bouncing back. If something is left an open book with no closure, it fucks me up. I mean, it's still,
I'm like, just say, I don't like you. Yeah. Instead, the last message I got was like, I wish we could have a baby. So it's just like, okay.
Yeah. At least it wasn't the guy who you baked a cake for. And the last thing he ever said to you was, "Is it perishable?"
I haven't made a coconut cake or a cobbler since.
Yeah. I will say, okay, so I have a list of books that I want to read. And one of the novels that I hadn't yet read, it's called Ghosts by Dolly Alderton. And usually when I go into...
Not to interrupt, but why don't we both read the same book on vacay? So then when we come back, we can
Okay,
like, share.
I'm halfway through Ghosts, but I think you need to read Ghosts. And here's the thing. Whenever I go to read a novel specifically, because I don't have much time, clearly. So if I'm going in reading a novel, I want to know that it's going to be good. So I usually know what's about. But because I trust Dolly Alderton so much, I think she's an amazing writer, and I know everything she writes is going to be good. I had no clue what Ghosts was about. I thought it was like, oh, maybe she's in a house with ghosts. And I guess I just got to the middle of the book, and sure enough, it's about ghosting.
Oh.
And it was like such a big twist in the book. And then it kind of hit me. Oh my fucking God, this story is about ghosting.
Oh wow, I thought it was gonna be like ghosts from your
Yes,
past.
exactly. Like
okay.
I didn't know.
Okay.
And it's about ghosting. And oh my God, I thought of you actually because
Okay.
I've not been ghosted.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait, I literally have. Actually,
Yeah.
yes, in a
But
very big
they
way.
always come back, but like sometimes in a year.
Well, it's not that I've been ghosted because I know if I sent them an email now, they might reply.
Yeah.
So maybe that's not the right terminology for what's happened to me. But I think with men, I think the problem is men. I think people get ghosted by men
Yeah.
a lot more than maybe other women.
Mm-hmm.
Like men will literally tell you they want your babies and
Yeah.
then never text you again.
Literally, I want to have a baby with you, never to. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I think that also women in general just tend to, when they say how they feel, have some meaning behind it, where I think men can be very fleeting with their words and they don't sometimes realize that like there's a lot of like me receiving a man saying something, I'm thinking that it's said with like genuine heart.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That was deep.
Next one. The sexual memory I love to replay in my mind.
Oh, I've got a good one.
Esther.
Esther Perel. Girl, we don't know who you are, but now you're hitting all the boxes. Okay, so obviously my whole mind is sexual memories.
That's what I was like. I don't know how I would choose.
It's all I ever think about. Obviously, like the whole journey with my wife, like she, oh gosh, she'd hate me for saying this, but like she truly is the best sex I've ever had in my life. And I don't know why she'd even hate me saying this because it's like a huge compliment.
Yeah.
And so like our whole journey has just been like the most beautiful like chemistry. But I'm going to spare her because I don't think she'd want me to share things. So I will share. When I was 20, so I've always been in long-term relationships since I was 18. But there was a bit of a gap that when I dumped my first ever girlfriend for the boy that I fell in love for, when I was trying to acquire the boy, he was really not giving me much time of day. He was not interested, although he then did become my long-term boyfriend. So during this period that he wasn't interested, I went on a big 3-month vacation by myself. I was 20, about to turn 21.
Okay.
And I went solo traveling Southeast Asia by myself. And I was in Thailand, and I was in this island called Koh Leap, which is beautiful and like literally one of the prettiest places I've ever been. But once I got there, because it was an impromptu stop in my trip, like I had never planned to go there, which just to caveat, I probably had seen this boy like in the morning in Malaysia. And then in the afternoon, I went to Thailand, got to this island, realized very quickly it was a fucking honeymoon island. There was no backpackers like me. Like it was just like fancy resorts with people on their honeymoons. But I quickly found the one hostel in the island for like people like me to stay, which granted there was not many. Stay there, met 2 girls in the dorm that I was staying in, and we all decided to go to dinner together. But they were so boring. They were boring as fuck. So when we were at dinner, I was like, these girls are just so boring. Like I want to break free. And sure enough, I was like, so girls, like, let's go out. Let's hit the bars. They're like, no, we're going to bed. And I'm like, okay, of course you are.
Yeah.
So I just went to a bar by myself. There was a couple at the bar. And trust me when I say I didn't think anything of them first. But I wanted to smoke, which is so weird because I'm like, who am I? And so I went up to them just to borrow a lighter because I could see they were smoking. So I went up to them, just like borrowed a lighter. Then we got talking and they were like, oh, it's like, stay here, chat with us. Like, what's your story? And the lady in the couple was very, very pretty. And then I saw, oh yeah, like she's hot. The guy can't even really remember what he looked like, but I'm guessing he wasn't that attractive. So anyways, one thing's lead to another. I tell them it's my birthday soon. I'm about to turn 21. She says, oh, what a coincidence. Like it's my birthday tomorrow. And I'm like, ooh, like, what do you want for your birthday? And she's like, I could think of some things. And I'm like, okay. But the problem is that we had a husband to deal with, her husband. And so I just really wanted to get with her at this point because she was really hot. So I was like, yeah, I'll give you what you want. But he was there. And so they took me back to their really fancy hotel on the other side of the island.
With the husband or like?
No, with the husband. The husband came, unfortunately. It was his hotel room. So, yeah, we went to the other side of the island and we had a threesome. It was my first ever threesome.
Wait, what?
Yeah. It was my first ever threesome. And guess what? This story gets so good. So as he's undressing, I tell him, I have a boyfriend. Well, he's not really my boyfriend, but a guy that I really like. So I'm not going to let you do anything to me, but you can just watch me and your wife. Okay? These are the rules. And he's like, okay, little one. Like, and so he's undressing. He's like, can I like at least like play with myself? And I'm like, yeah, sure. You do that. As he's undressing, the wife goes to me, I have to tell you something about him. He just had cancer and he's only got one ball. Like he had to have a testicle removed. So like don't be alarmed when he undresses and he's only got one ball. Like I'm not making this story up. This is a true story. So I had a threesome with a guy with one ball.
Okay.
But he didn't do anything to me. I just fucked his wife in front of him.
Did he do stuff to his wife then while you were doing
Well,
stuff
and this
to
is
her?
how it all ends. The thing with threesomes is if you're the third party, there comes to a point where they want you to leave.
Yeah.
And they never tell you. They never go, this is you have to pick up the social cues.
Yeah.
It did get to the point where she kind of left me and then they were playing together and I was there like twiddling my thumbs. And they were like, we want to go smoke weed on the beach. And I'm like, I don't like weed. So I think I'm just going to go home. And this is where the story gets a bit even sketchier than it already is. I quickly remembered I was on like the other side of the island, very far from my home. I closed their hotel room door, realized I didn't even put my shoes on, but they had gone to the beach. So like I now couldn't get in their room again. I had no shoes on.
Wait,
I was
you left your shoes in the room.
Yeah.
Aww.
I was now alone in a very quiet part of the island because it was the fancy part where like the honeymoon resorts are. Didn't know how to get home, didn't have shoes. This was the time of like, I mean, I had a phone, but it wasn't like you couldn't be resourceful on your phone. And all I know is a little angel saint, which in hindsight, this could have been a dangerous situation, but a man in a scooter came by and he was like, do you need a ride? And I was like, yes, actually I do. So I got on the back of a motorbike.
This story could have gone so awry.
So bad. So bad.
The man out of the blue in the scooter picking you up is crazy.
And then he took me to my hostel and I said, can I give you some money? He was like, no, like you're good. You're fine.
Oh, this was just like a saint of a threesome.
An angel.
Yeah.
And yeah.
That's amazing. It's a really good story. I also feel like that would happen to me. Like getting on the scooter is like
but also with my luck of like my first threesome being with a man with one ball.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, love. That was really good.
Thanks.
If you've ever actually I'm not gonna say this.
Oh, I know what you're gonna say. But maybe tell me afterwards. Okay, your question, Devin, is it's hard for me to say yes to ...
Oh.
I think you're a people pleaser. I think you say yes to everything.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say. Like in my professional life, I don't like a lot and I'm a no girl.
Okay, wait. Remember when can I tell this story?
Yes.
In her professional life. Okay, her saying, in my professional life, I'm a no girl. How about when we worked at Playboy? We missed this out from the Playboy episode. But we worked at Playboy and there was a big party coming in Palm Springs or something for Coachella. And obviously, they put you up in a hotel. It just happened that the hotel they were putting us in was like the Holiday Inn. Yes. Devin says, I am not coming on the trip where we're staying is not safe. I am not staying at the Holiday Inn. It is like, she just goes on one. Like, so she doesn't come on the trip because she didn't want to stay at the Holiday Inn.
I literally like was supposed to go and be like one of the main leads like on the event because I'd helped like produce the event, I think. And then everyone's like, wouldn't you want to come and see it through? And then I was like, it's not safe. This is inappropriate with how you treat women. I was like, I have long hair. Like, what if I get a bed bug? I was like, what if I get a rash?
She was treating this like El Salvador. Like
No.
she was like it's not safe. And I'm like, Devin, it's the Holiday Inn in Palm Springs. And this was like, she's venting publicly on Slack. She's like, I'm not going. It's not safe. It is iconic. I will never forget. I can't believe we missed that out.
I think I forgot about that.
So yeah, you're a fucking
Yeah,
no girl when it comes to work.
Yeah, at work I'm a no girl, but in my personal life I am such a people pleaser and I say yes to everything. Like I'm always saying yes. I always feel completely overextended. And like I put myself in situations all the time. In my head I'm like, why the fuck am I here?
Yeah.
Because I can't say no.
Where I'm the exact opposite.
Yeah.
I think I have such good boundaries in my personal life. Very good boundaries. And then with work, I'm a people pleaser and I say yes to everything. And I think there's so many gigs or jobs that I've done because I just couldn't say no.
Yeah.
And it's people offering me money and like good money to do things that I don't want to do, but I don't know how to say no. So with work, I am learning. Yeah. I'm learning how not to be a people. It's hard. But with my personal life, I'm fucking great. I'm like, no.
It's funny how we're flip-flopped on that.
Yeah, we're the yin and yang.
Yeah, baby.
Okay, maybe that's my last one and then I'll do one more for you and it's your last one.
The hottest thing I've ever witnessed. ...
Me? Oh, look at my lips. Like, ooh. Damn. I mean, I can't share.
Yeah, that's like R-rated.
If I was Alex Cooper and call her daddy, I would share. But I have to respect the other party, which she knows who she is.
Because I can't share mine either. Let's do another poll.
Damn, we make a podcast and we can't share anything.
I know.
Fuck.
I'll never forget about the night I hooked up with ... Yours are all sexy.
Oh, again, can't share. Fuck. Damn, I'm sorry, guys.
Because I was thinking like who mine would be.
Oh, gosh, I have so many good. I'll tell you after we
I have a story for this one I could answer. I'll never forget the night I hooked up with ... I was dating this guy. We had maybe gone on a couple of dates. This was like 10 years ago. He went to Boulder. I met him
he
at
went
the
to
bungalow.
Boulder.
And he lived in Arizona and he's like, I'm coming into town for a work trip. And so he was like, would you be willing to drive to Riverside? And I was just like, fuck it. Like, I'll just do it. So I drove to Riverside to his hotel and then we like went to hook up and it was just so awkward and like he really couldn't get it up. And then like he ordered dinner and like had just ordered me a fruit platter, which like I found really offensive. It just like really annoyed me.
Yeah.
So everything was just like going awry. And then he's like, do you mind whispering? Like the walls here are paper thin and like I don't want like my my other employee. Okay, so then everything's going awry and he's like asking me to speak really like in hushed tones because he's like, my colleagues like could hear you through the walls. So then I'm just like, okay, fuck it. Like I cannot do this. So then I leave and like make a big drama and then go to leave and like didn't have a key card to get out of the structure. So then he had to come back down and like key card me out. And then we never spoke again. And that was like kind of like, I think that
Wait, I thought you were answering the sexiest thing you've ever witnessed.
No, I'll never forget about the night I hooked up with. ...
I was like, how is this sexy?
That one maybe wasn't a good story. Like maybe we cut that one. But in my head, that's like something I'll never forget.
No, it's good. I just was thinking you were answering the sexy one.
Oh, I can't speak to that.
Yeah, but I want to hear yours after we wrap this up.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you your final question.
Okay.
I just want to say thanks to the fans. I know you're going to miss the fuck out of us.
For 4 weeks, though. We'll be back.
My sexual superpower is ...
I can't go into details because Mum's watching. Dad's watching. But I will say this. I'm a giver.
Love. That's like all you have to say.
So use your imagination, peeps. Also, I will say this. Nothing freaks me out. Like,
yeah,
I will suck toes. I will stop there. I will do it all. Like, nothing freaks me out. I think some people are like so
they're
that's
like
fine, but
yeah, I think it's just like I am not weirded out by things like that either.
No.
Yeah.
Like I'm quite
Open.
Yeah, I'm open. That's
giving
all
woman.
I'm gonna
A
say.
gorgeous, beautiful.
Okay, I'm gonna
giving
do
woman.
one last question for you, and what
Okay.
I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick 3 and then do the best one.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh,
That's more than 3.
I know. I don't like these. Sorry.
It's okay. Do you want to take one from my deck? From my Yasmin deck?
Fucking hell.
Here, try this one.
Oh wait, no, this one's good.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't know why we like all the sexual ones. Can I do 2 for you as your
Sure.
ending one? There's 2. So this first one is kind of lovely. So we'll
Okay.
do the other one last. My favorite love story to tell. ...
Ooh.
That's very cutie.
That's really cute. Gosh. I mean, I think I don't have one for myself right now. But
You're writing it.
Hi, boyfriend.
He's so cute.
But I have just like, this is like a long time ago, but we used to live in Eagle Rock. And as a kid, I remember we had these neighbors and they were called the Moffats, and they were in their like late like age, and they had just like the cutest love story of like having been friends forever and like meeting in high school. And I just think like that stories like that always like hurt my heartstrings, because I think back in that era of life it was like a little more doable, whereas now I don't think it's like your like grade school best friends that become like prom king and queen.
I think
it's
things
like this idyllic shit.
Yeah, I think things were so different though that I
Yeah.
think that nowadays we try and emulate that, and I think we
Yeah.
get so disappointed when it doesn't work because things are just different and love is different. And
Yeah.
yes, that is so admirable,
Yeah.
and I wish we could have that, but it's just things are so different. You
Yeah.
know?
I also think like the journey that I'm on in my own life, I feel like my greatest love story is just like the journey of loving myself, you know? Because it's like just evolving.
Fuck it,
over
we're ending with
time.
that. We don't need the last question, and that is how you end that pod. Esther Perel, we don't know who you are. But this is great.
We'll DM you.
We'll DM
Esther.
you.
I love you. Happy summer vacation.
Happy summer, everyone. See you in 3 to 4
Tits
weeks.
out on the beach, baby.
Bye.